but you're never gonna be me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try to change, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to another edition of the Geek Gauntlet Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. William D. Morgan. I have a cast of thousands with me tonight. Going to break down everything that's going down in the world of geek. But first, let me go ahead and get everybody introduced. I will start off. She is our TikTok and cosplay queen. Let me bring my girl, Kat. Holler on. Kat, what's up? How you doing tonight?
Just living the dream, man. How about yourself?
That's how I beat. It's living the dream. Doing pretty good. All right, let me fix this real quick. I'm having some crazy audio issues. Give me a second. I see the problem. Let's see. Right there. Okay, perfect. All right, let's go ahead and bring in the rest of the crew. He is our comic book expert. Let me bring my man Ty in. Ty, what's up?
Hey, I'm ready for another night of the Gauntlet. Of course, I am a little laughing and creeped out by Kat's little picture back there in the corner because it's like someone's peeking out with those red eyes. Like, what's over there? Your little poster behind you.
That one? My Netrunner stick?
Oh, I like it. It's just funny because it looks like she's poking out behind. How the angle is, it looks like she's poking up behind the box, and she's like, "Hello."
All right. And in last but certainly not least, she is our resident female streamer. Let me bring my girl Diamond in. Diamond, what's up? How you doing tonight?
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Diamond, what's up?
What's going on, everybody? Been a crazy week. Oh, man, but I'm glad we are here for the Gauntlet. All right, let's go
Diamond,
ahead.
I wish you were here last week, Diamond.
No, what happened?
Oh,
I was like last week. We had a we had some good times going with Ando.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I think we broke Ando.
We just introduced Ando to a whole new world. We did some Aladdin for him.
Oh,
we took him on a magic carpet ride, if you know what I mean.
Oh no!
We introduced him to the boys.
Yeah, he hadn't watched The Boys yet.
Dude, what?
He thought we were kidding. He apparently thought we were making up a story.
And we've been talking about The Boys for like what? How many episodes?
Yeah. But you know how The Boys always has that one episode that makes everybody be like, "Oh, well, that's new." Yeah, and so we were talking about it, and he thought we made it up apparently because he was like, "You guys weren't messing with me." We're like, Nah, bro,
we're telling you the truth.
Which one?
Big Mike, what's up?
Big Mike, what's up? How you doing? Thank you for coming out to the stream.
What up, Big Mike?
But yeah, we were talking about last week's episode, last week's episode, not this week, but last week's, of course, and everything they did with Huey, and it's like Ando couldn't believe it.
Like Huey's never going to get his comeuppance.
And then outside of the chat, I'm sure if you've read, we've introduced him to plenty of other things.
It was crazy, and I think we finally got him. But all right, look,
we got him, guys. We got him. It's okay.
He's one of us now.
He's one of us.
There
he is. What's up, man?
What up, Ando?
Yeah. Ando, we were just talking about you.
He says, "Don't talk about the boys." He says, "Don't talk about the boys."
Oh, wait till you get here, Ando, to talk about the boys.
Yeah.
The boys will be back in town.
Oh yeah, we'll wait for you to get here to talk about those guys. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do things a little bit differently tonight. Diamond, do you have any video game news for us?
I have two things. Xbox Game Pass is getting major changes with a new tier without day one gaming, and a range of price increases by, I think one of the price increases is going to be for $20 for a monthly subscription. And then the other one would be the Concord Beta Early Access preload and server times, PC specs, and more detail. The open beta for everybody is going to be between July 18th and the 21st.
I don't like the word you just said though. Price increase.
From
I don't
Xbox
like
Game Pass.
Ugh. $20 more.
Now, is that just for traditional Game Pass, or is that to get like the early access?
That's just for the early access.
Because see, I'm lazy. Have I downloaded
Yeah,
games for early access and like not played them for like a month? Yeah, you know.
Oh yeah. Also, 2K is working on unannounced remakes, so it doesn't know which one it is going to be. I hope it's going to be WWE 2K17, but it's not going to happen.
Not gonna happen.
So they're working on a remake, but it doesn't say which one, and I'm hoping it's like
Mhm.
one of the NBA or either NBA 2Ks or the WWE 2K games.
Wow. So it doesn't say which one.
Nope.
Wow.
But yeah, that's all I have so far.
All right. Cool. All right. Let's go ahead and get into the show reviews this week. I am trying to wait on Ando so we can go ahead and talk about the boys. So let's go ahead and get started. Who watched Star Wars?
I just sent you Will if you wanted to tag on to that. Oh, sorry.
Okay. Hey, what did you just send me?
If you wanted to add more video game stuff.
Yeah, what did you just send me?
So right now, Overwatch is doing their like event, and it's Transformer themed.
Oh, okay.
So that right there is Reinhardt with a Optimus Prime. That's Reinhardt with an Optimus Prime skin.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Give me a minute. I'm gonna take a copy of this.
Yeah, there's a couple other skins like Bumblebee and one or two others, but it's just kind of a fun little thing that just started like I think this week.
Let me see if I can go ahead and show a quick copy. Come on, computer. There we go. This is what he's referring to. I am Optimus Prime. There you go.
Kind of cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, I was like, it looks pretty dope for that's Reinhardt.
Nice.
That's cool. All right. Appreciate you sharing that. All right, let's go ahead and get into the shows of the week. Oh, real quick cast update. Hopefully Shaw will be back with us next week.
Woot woot.
Ooh, ooh.
Yep. He'll be back with us next week. Before we go any further, and I do see this was put in the chat, and I looked at it earlier. Rest in peace to Richard Simmons. Passed away at 76. Oh man, 2024 so far that sucked. All right.
Yeah, we get into that point.
Not to be morbid, but I mean, some of us got the lucky way out, I guess, right?
Spencer, how you doing?
They didn't want to stay for the full ride of the year.
Spencer, how you doing? Welcome to the stream, my friend. Welcome to the stream.
Ooh, Spencer, I like that
here.
picture.
We got Janae up in here. Janae, what's up? Yeah, Shelley Duvall.
And Shelley
Duvall also passed away this week. Man, this has just been terrible. Terrible. Yeah, everyone's doing great.
No.
Everyone's doing great, man. Everyone's doing great. All right. Who watched Star Wars this week? I'm assuming it's Acolyte.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
What was up? Like it? Disliked it?
Acolyte, I did watch it.
What did you guys think of it? Did you like it? Not like it? Highlights?
So they really kind of got into the Force witches like they first found them. And so the one thing that I can say that, and this has been a complaint from everybody, and it's kind of hard to dispute that the writing on the show isn't the best. But this is the first time where the writing has actually been kind of cringy. And just kind of hear me out on this. So in this episode, it goes back to when Saul was a young Jedi, and he did not currently have a Padawan. And he's talking about how he wants to pass on what he knows about the Jedi, and he wants to take on a Padawan. And then all of a sudden, while they're doing their research on this planet that they think is uninhabited, he comes across two girls that are then approached by a Night Sister, basically, for lack of a better term. They haven't called them the Night Sisters yet, but everything about them shows that they are Night Sisters, the Witches of Dathomir Night Sisters. And she's showing concern for them. So it's not like, oh, two orphan children running around the woods. Like, she's like, no, what are you guys doing out here? Like, you need to be back where it's safe. It's not safe out here. But he kind of gets on this tangent about how they have to be rescued. It's like, bro, I'm going to need you to hold up, because you just went from I want a Padawan, I want a Padawan, I want a Padawan, to let's kidnap two girls. Hold up. And I'm sure like what they were trying to portray was the fact that he was impulsive and making poor decisions. Because of course he goes back, tells their master Jedi that's with them. She goes back to the council, says, hey, we found these girls. We don't know, we'd like to pursue at least testing them to see if they're force sensitive. So she approves to like test, is like, are they force sensitive? And the one sister, May, she basically fails the test on purpose. Then Osha, the other sister, is kind of brought in, and he kind of manipulates her into like, I mean, it was a little bit weird because like the approach he took with her might as well have been like, hey, so I have a puppy back in my car and you like puppies, right? So why don't you come with me so you can see puppies? So she
I ain't feeling that.
She really wants to like go. And so, while they're waiting to hear back from the council says, hey, they've said that it's a no-go. We're not going to disrupt what they've got here. It's fine. The men on this mission are like, well, that's not acceptable. Let's go kidnap us some kids. Like, no, it came in, and I'm sure it just gets back to the bad writing, but it was like, and you guys know me, I'm not normally someone that's like, oh my God, I can't believe that. Obviously, you guys I've watched The Boys. Like, it takes a lot for me. So for me to say that the way that was written and portrayed was really cringy, is kind of saying something. The acting, the fight scenes, that was all great, but that writing was cringe.
Andrew, what's up, man?
What up,
Welcome
Andrew?
to the stream. Debbie, what's up? Welcome to the stream.
I don't know if you want me to add more or
Yeah, feel free, man.
Yeah.
I give it to you that this episode had some cringy moments, as well as the writing feels a little lacking. What I'll say is, this is basically another the end of last week's episode. He had not Osha, but May, yeah. He had.
Yo, give me a second. I can't hear you guys. I got to change my volume out.
Do your thing, man.
Cool. Yeah, I'm in. Hi, guys. Sorry I'm late.
Hey.
What's going on, Orlando? Jeff, we waited for you to get here to talk about the board.
Yeah. No, I was listening.
Okay. So long story short, we had Soul had May tied down. He basically confessed to her that he has been wanting to tell her stuff, and all these things, and she's going to listen. So what we're going to do is in episode 3, we had
I still love you, Janae. Don't
episode
run.
3, we had the flashback episode where we got to see all of the stuff leading up, like their past as kids and where they came from. This is that same exact episode, but from the from a different perspective, from Soul and all the Jedi's perspective as they were on the outside. So it's kind of cool to see those scenes. Soul misunderstands everything he sees. Yeah. I agree with you there. He does seem to. Soul, I don't know necessarily if it's the entire I want to go kidnap children. It's that I think Soul has. There's two driving forces behind Soul. There's the factor that what he believes, and there's something that I think he doesn't understand. And the one to understand is very much because we see the leader of their Jedi, I forget what her name is, for lack of a better word, the actress plays Trinity from Matrix. She basically tells him hey, you seem to be acting with some stuff, internal stuff, and he's not recognizing that. He's not recognizing that he's projecting things where they're not there, and he doesn't know that. But he does worry about obviously with the history of the sisters. He's worried that maybe these girls are going to be sacrificed for something. He's worried that they're going to be harmed, so he wants to go help them. Yes, he's very much adamant. Again, he wants Padawan. I do think that's one of those driving factors that he's not fully aware of that is pushing him, but he is going on the basis that he thinks that something's going to happen to Osha and May, and so that's why he wants to go rescue them. I think there is some interesting choices in the writing for how this all kind of happens, because it doesn't make a lot of sense how they stormed a building, how everything happens. The youngest Jedi is the one who kind of starts it all, kind of. But what's weird is they don't really help him. Like they go to stop him from starting it all, but yet it doesn't seem to do anything. Like they don't really they don't really seem to really stop him, even though they were going to stop him. So I don't understand. Again, that comes back to the writing seeming a little bad, a little cringy. There's a lot of elements, again, the building catching on fire so quickly, the explosions that didn't fully make sense in the building. I don't know what to think, honestly. I mean, Acolyte this whole season has been one of those things where I'm not quite sure I see what the end point is. And I think we one episode away from the season finale.
One or two.
Or could you say that that's good writing?
Yeah, I was like, I think 1 or 2 episodes away.
Could you say that that's good writing because to have a predictable ending is sometimes a bad idea?
This writing's trash.
Okay.
It's.
Oh, sorry.
So we can't even say the episode. So we can't even say the episode has been hit or miss. Everything's just been trash for the most part.
Well, the writing. So you're getting some good combat, but you're not getting enough. For people who don't know about acolytes, you're not really getting enough to really understand the motive. So like with Obi-Wan, we know enough about Obi-Wan from 9 movies and 2 TV series that when you came into Obi-Wan, we didn't need backstory there. Same thing with The Mandalorian and Boba Fett. We had backstory there. The Acolyte, I really feel, was something that was really kind of created for longtime fans who wanted to see something dark side, but they've kind of misplaced the fact that there are a lot of people out there that are going to watch it because it's Star Wars who don't know the backstory. And so the writing on this, there's still some really heavily focused on Jedi focused storytelling.
Yeah.
It's a mystery. We won't know the truth until the end.
I agree with you, Solo Girl.
Yeah.
That's why I'm holding my reservation about knowing if it's. Right now, I don't think it's good or bad. I do think the writing is lacking. But until I get to that, because it is kind of being mysterious, until I get to the end, that's when I'll be able to judge. Because once you get the conclusion to the mystery, then because in theory, if it's a good mystery, the ending should connect all the points that have made cringe or made things not make sense. In theory, if it does that, I will say good job. There's been some good moments in Acolyte. I think there's been some really cool aspects. I think there's been some fun stuff as they dive into darkness. I don't think out of the entire show so far that they really, if they're going to talk about the Sith, I don't think they've done a good enough job to dive in. They haven't gone dark enough.
The problem,
in my opinion,
the acolytes are slightly different from Sith. So they're calling it the Acolyte, but they're not really detailing what an Acolyte is.
Promise me the episode should have lived up to a series hype of the series, but I agree. Yeah, again, but that comes down to I don't know what the direction of the show is, and so that's why I'm hoping that the ending will tell me, because
you're withholding judgment until you get twice the full picture.
Oh, well, like the first episode, because they released a 2-episode when it came out. The first episode, I was thinking one of the mysteries was going to be. Is Osha and May real, or is it just Osha? What? But then by the end of episode 2, it's very confirmed. Oh no, May and Osha are like real. They are 2 separate people. And so I was like, okay, well that mystery is no longer a mystery. That's been solved. And then by like episode 3 or 4, we're trying to figure out who this mysterious Sith person that's done stuff. But then relatively by the end of episode 4, we have that answer as well. And it's like, okay, well. Again, I'm not sure what the direction of the show is, so I'm hoping by the time we get to the end that it'll all connect. And if it doesn't, then I will sit here and say, it feels like a loose bunch of episodes written that didn't connect well, and that makes it even worse, because you could have a show that's like semi-decent written, but if you have a bunch of semi-decent written episodes that don't connect well, it just makes them all look bad. And so, I don't. So far, nothing about the show has made me like think, oh man, this is bad. But I also find myself bored. Kind of, I hate to compare it this way, because I did like Boba Fett, but Boba Fett had moments where I found myself bored. And I'm kind of starting to get that vibe from this, because it's like, okay, I don't know what's going on, and I don't know if I care, because there's not a lot of things keeping me there, because I don't know the direction. I don't know where we're going. And like I said, if a good mystery.
Oh, go ahead.
What were you saying, Kat?
Well, I was just saying, like, from where the last episode ended, where you have them now having the identity of this person, this dark side force user, as they keep referring to him. I would have hoped that this next episode would have carried more into what was happening with him and Osha. But that was like 10 minutes of airtime. Like, oh yeah, we kind of forgot. We should probably talk about these guys in this next episode.
Well, I think they were continuing, because also last week's episode was, like I said, it ended with having May tied down to the table and Saul looking at her and goes, I've been waiting to tell you, something for 16 years, and I'm going to tell you now.
Yeah.
So they thought that was the direction of the story. I don't know if that's what any of us wanted. But that's what they thought we needed. So I'm hoping, again, if they thought we needed that part of the story, I'm only hoping that plays out into the finale. If it doesn't, then once again, I'll be like, okay, they made the wrong choice. They showed us the backstory that we didn't need, instead of showing us the current stuff with what Osha. Because, we ended with Osha putting on that helmet.
Mm-hmm.
And is she going to become the Acolyte? Is she going to become Sith or whatever? I don't know. So it's just one of those things where there's some really interesting ideas. I think Star Wars is always going to be a hard topic to do, only because I actually I don't know if you guys saw, I made a TikTok earlier today.
I saw it.
No one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans.
Facts.
And we gotta be. We gotta be realistic with Star Wars. Right? It's like it's a show made for children. Sometimes there's some good stuff there. I think episodes 2 should have been combined. I think this is fair. Like, everything we're talking about tonight, I think is all fair critiques. I think talking about the writing with the cringe that's a fair critique. I think the fact that they haven't made a lot of decisions to tell us where we're going is a fair. Like, there's a lot of fair things here. It's the people who come on here and be like, there's fire in space. That's bad. This is about like magical space wizards, guys. I don't know what you're talking about. And then or the people who come on here and be like, man, this is woke because it's a female African American lead. Should I show you Kenobi? Should I show you Andor? How many other white male leads do you need? Because they all out there. This is just one not. So like, I don't know. Get off your high horse and recognize that you are dumb.
There's more than just white people in space.
But no, Star Wars fans. What?
There's more than just white people in space.
What?
What? What? There's not
Right?
there's not just white people in space. What?
Well, I mean, Lando Calrissian had to have gotten around the universe enough.
I would actually say, did anyone ever see? There's a B budget movie. There's a B budget movie called Iron Sky. Did anyone ever see that?
Nope.
I've seen it.
Oh, it is so. White people be in space, yo. Okay, Nazis be up in space. What's super annoying is so much of the criticism online is dumb stuff. Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. The post that I tagged in TikTok, not the creator itself, but I was reading the feed of what people were saying. One person wrote that, man, I can't believe like Disney would fund this. It's probably because it's the political year and they need to push Democratic agendas. And I was like, what in the Acolyte was pushing a Democratic agenda for? Like, that's just the dumbest thing you could like. Yeah, no, it's a show. It's a show about space wizards, guys. What are you reading so much into?
So what it is, it's a space
western. Some of y'all
with wizards.
Some of y'all are weird, is what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some of y'all is weird.
Ooh, Will's got a new background. I like it.
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
Yes. I got to be pimping.
Well, Ando, there's no redhead over there for you.
I can still support it. I
got to be pimping. I got to be pimping. I got to stay pimping. But anyway,
you're gonna get that last. You're gonna get that lasso of truth around you. I'm sure in a minute.
Please.
All right, but yeah.
Or what Will really wants though is from the alternate timeline universe where he can get the lasso of submission. That's what he wants.
That's our boy Will, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, lasso of submission. Yes. But yeah, and I've noticed that a lot. I've noticed that a lot about some fandoms out there. If you say something the wrong way, people get mad at you. If you refer to something in the wrong way, people get mad at you. And I just think some of these folks need to go touch some grass.
Yep. Go out, talk to people, get out of your mom's basement.
I'm a huge Marvel fan, and I'm terrified that that's the Marvel direction because of Marvel getting so popular with its movies and shows that like it's starting to it's not there yet, but it's close to like the Star Wars fandom where people will shit talk Marvel stuff so much.
Yeah. Well, and I think we've talked about this too, especially with the Marvel fans. You have two different categories. And you have this a little bit with Star Wars as well. Mm-hmm. Not quite as much because Star Wars fans are their worst enemies. But with Marvel, you have like the movie and TV series fans. Then you have the comic book fans. And so oftentimes at least what I've seen happen in various chats and various places across social media is a comic book fan will bring up something that's part of the lore. But if it wasn't in the movies or the TV shows, the TV and movie fans like jump all over it about that's not right, that's not canon, that's not this, that's not that.
Yep.
And when they're like, well, wait a minute, let me verify, are you talking about lore from the movies or the comic books? The movie folks aren't letting up. The comic book people are just like,
yeah.
Well, like, yeah, I mean, but with Star Wars fans, unfortunately, you could say the Millennium Falcon is gray, and you would have a million people come at you and tell you that's not the right color. You could tell them that Darth Vader wears black, and they're going to say, no, it's not black. It's dark raven midnight black. That's just... And it is a little bit silly, but, like, yeah, I mean, and I think my take with the Acolyte is not like, oh, this is just... I have concerns about how they're doing it because... From what I'm seeing, it still seems very Jedi-centric. And the Acolyte story is not a Jedi-centric story.
Yeah.
So those are my concerns.
Yeah, and like I said, those are legitimate concerns. I think that's always like, if you like, if we're geeks, we're fans of this stuff. I think it's 100% fair of us to critique something that we love, but in a healthy way. And I think that's what we're doing here. That's what we're like. We're like, hey, this is a show that we love, we care about. They're not entirely doing it. Like, they're not doing justice to it. We want to bring it up, but we're not going to start pulling random things that don't make any sense, or start asking for things that really are not even what Star Wars is. Because again, I still love the whole fire in space argument so many times. I've heard it so much on TikTok. And it's
for the record, for their budget, for the budget they had for this film, they should not have just recycled all of the costumes from Kenobi. Because every single Jedi, their robes are exactly the Obi-Wan Kenobi robes. And that's not how it was at the Jedi Academy. Like, they all had there were similarities in colors, things of that nature, but they weren't identical. This is like they're handing out a uniform of like everyone's an Obi-Wan.
Hey, I still want to see more purple lightsabers, guys.
Purple? They're purple now?
Yeah, they have been since Samuel Jackson, bro.
I've seen every color but purple.
My staff, I have a double-ended staff that's purple, and I have
a Samuel Jackson lightsaber.
Oh my gosh!
Here is purple.
Well, did you never see Samuel Jackson's purple lightsaber?
I don't remember if I do.
Yeah, dude, episode 3, the fight between Mace Windu and Emperor Palpatine. Yeah, it's full purple, man.
Well, even before that, we see him draw his light in Clone Wars too.
Yeah. He does it against what's his name's throat, and he doesn't chop his head off yet at that point. But no, the real reasoning to the purple lightsaber, and you don't see it very often, is Samuel L. Jackson wanted to. When Samuel L. Jackson went to George Lucas, originally he wanted to be a stormtrooper. Like, I just want to be in the movie. You don't even have to credit me. I just think it'd be real cool to work with George Lucas.
Yeah.
And then George Lucas came back with the script, and he's like, "You're gonna be this Jedi Master. What color do you want your lightsaber?" And Samuel L. Jackson's like, "I get a lightsaber? Read the script, Sam. You'll like it." And then he's like, "Oh, I want a lightsaber so that when my mom watches the film, she can point out exactly where I am." And they're like, "We can do purple." And Sam's like,
so most, yes, but there is actually not an interview, but there's a video, because behind the scenes look, moment that because Samuel Jackson's idea is where the purple lightsaber comes from.
Okay. I thought it was because his mom wanted to see him when he was in the film.
It might have been, but I know that it came from him. Like, he's the one who brought it up, because there's a scene behind the scenes, and it's great because he's sitting there going over the script and going over lightsaber stuff, talking to George Lucas, and he's like, "Well, you get a lightsaber, so do you want like green or blue?" And he's like, "I want purple." And you see George Lucas' face. I mean, we can. like it was definitely that, like, okay. And what's funny is Samuel Jackson's face just turns all happy because he's like, but yeah, go look. I'll have to find that clip and send it to you. It's so funny because it's like a behind the scenes to why they were filming and doing everything. So it's like an actual like interaction between them. And like, yeah, definitely one of those things that was not planned. It was just like, I guess we're doing a purple lightsaber.
Yeah, happy accident that made the film.
And now that's canon, like, because of it, now there's like such canon lore and stuff behind like colored lightsabers and everything now.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, and in a lot of ways, a purple lightsaber works in the aspect of Mace Windu. Because if you understand the lore behind Mace Windu, he was more in terms of what the term that people hate of a gray Jedi. Like, he had to work he had to work a lot to maintain the light side of the Force versus letting the dark side of the Force take over. And that's not just Samuel L. Jackson's character. That is the like Mace Windu lore.
Right.
He was just tired of all them MF snakes on that MF plane, you know?
I'm tired of all these MF droids on this MF planet. Like, I mean, you know
what? This is a really good Jedi burger that you gave me. Say what one more time? Say what?
Yeah, so I think the reason that when he went to them and said, "Hey, I want a purple lightsaber," the reason that we was able to be like, "Yeah, we can do that," is because it kind of also shows that balance that Mace Windu as a character has. because he's constantly battling between the light and the dark. My 2 cents on my Star Wars lore. You know.
I love it.
Gotcha. All right, let's move on. Who saw House of the Dragon this week?
I just finally wrapped it up an hour ago.
Anybody got thoughts?
Oh, I do, but I'll let Kat go.
Hold on. Can I ask real quick? Is it a house and is it full of dragons?
I mean, in a roundabout way.
Cool. Awesome. Then I'm going to watch it eventually.
Yeah.
I gotta get caught up on this season.
Well, Ando, just make sure you're looking for the HBO House of Dragons, not the online House of Bad Dragon. Don't go there, because
oh my
that
gosh.
might be.
What's the change? Good. It's not Geek After Dark yet. We can't be talking about this stuff.
I don't know what you're saying. I didn't say anything. I just said House of Bad Dragon. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're a bad boy, Ty.
Yeah, get your mind out of the gutter, Ando.
Hey, it'll be there permanently in 25 minutes or 24 minutes now. Let's go.
So this week we finally kind of got to see this.
I swear to God, I'm gonna make Geek Gauntlet After Dark his own show. Watch.
You got to, man. You almost have to at this point, man.
I almost have to do it.
I will be the anchor of that show, my dude.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kat. I'm sorry.
This week on House of the Dragon, we kind of started to see the beginning of the combat side of the war. So Sir Creston takes, his trusted men, and they are marching. And Ty, what's the name of the castle? I watched it earlier in the week, and I can't remember it.
Which castle?
The one they were marching to, where the battle took place.
Where Damon's at?
No, that's Harrenhal.
Well, that was the original goal when they first left.
Right, but where was the one where they actually? Yeah, so because
where that battle was at the end.
Yeah.
Oh God. So many names. I don't remember. It's supposed to be kind of the last, or not last, but like it's the closest stronghold to Rhaenyra's.
Harrenhal.
Yes.
Yeah. So Damon's gone off to Harrenhal, and this is a castle that is in worse disrepair than most of the city of Houston right now. Like it's missing a roof. It's he goes to bed and he has to like check for where there's leaks, and to make sure that it's not leaking onto the bed he's about to crawl into.
It is pretty shitty.
It's seen better days. Like,
I mean, it looks like Yakima on a good day. For all you Yakatonians out there, come at me.
Basically Damon shows up and finds out that there's been this battle between two families that are both have fealty to House Tully, who is the lord over Harrenhal at that point. Because these two houses, and they both start with B names, so I'm not even going to try and butcher which one was which. So, those of you that are watching, if you want to remind me who is who, I'm just going to call them B Team 1 and B Team 2. B Team 1 is all Green House of the Green Dragon, which is not the one any of us want. House 2, B2 is for the rightful queen, and they end up battling it out, and their two families basically wipe each other to annihilation, practically. And Damon kind of puts it to the guy at Harrenhal. He's like, oh, well, we need to consort Lord Tully, and he's like, Lord Tully isn't doing a damn thing. In true Damon fashion, he calls it like it is. That obviously, if Tully can't keep two families that have fealty to him in line, pledging their allegiance to the same leader, then there's no reason why you need Tully's permission to pledge fealty to us.
It's all about the Riverlands, because this, the Riverlands is not. It has some distance between that and the capital, and it's kind of like the way how Winterfell oversaw and protected everyone in the north, and the Winterlands, the Riverlands. I don't remember what direction they are to the castle. I'd have to go look, but essentially they oversaw that area, and there's a lot of small houses and tribes out there, because I think they're still. And they talk about it in the show, how they've always just fought with each other because they're just a bunch of tiny houses that don't have really any anything, and so they're always fighting with each other. I believe the Riverlands are the same, if I remember correctly, in Game of Thrones. Isn't that where
Baratheon comes from? You've
what?
got the Child Queen.
No, I know. But what I mean though is when you go out to the Riverlands, in Game of Thrones, we still see that a bunch of the houses are always fighting with. Because isn't that where Tyrion finds his like Viking horde people to help him fight in one of their battles, because they're one of the Riverland nomads, basically. Yeah, they've just been fighting forever. They're just not organized, and they fight each other and wipe each other out all the time.
It's like the Midwest of the U.S. It's fine. Like, you know, it's a bunch of small flyover states.
Hey. That's Dog, if I said that about Texas, you'd be coming over here to grill me, literally on the grill.
Well, that's because Texas isn't a flyover state. Like, that's like 3 stops at least. Like, you can get 3 layovers in the state of Texas in any flight.
Yeah,
can't you fit like England inside of Texas?
You can fit the moon inside Texas.
Damn.
Yeah.
Texas be too damn big for its own damn good.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
they call them Texas-sized roaches.
Mexico's like, that was actually our land, but that's cool.
Yeah.
Sí, senor, you have it.
Yeah. So Damon's working on getting everything set at Harrenhal when they get word that Sir Creston has a crew marching in that direction. And with all of this going on, everyone, of course, is trying to encourage them to, on both sides, they're trying to push for war. And with that, at this point, why am I blanking on her name? The queen's name, not the friend, the actual queen.
Rhaenyra.
Yeah. So Rhaenyra says, you know what? I finally looked at her note, the note that was sent with the Raven over her son's death. She's like, but this at this point has gone too far. I think I need to actually have a conversation with her.
Well, she says a line in there that I think is really good. I don't know if it's from the book, because it would be great if it's from the book, because it's such a good line. I love it when she tells the group why she does it, and that's the, I inherited, was it 80 years of peace? Before I surrender that to war, I wanted to make very clear this was the only option left.
Yeah.
I love that line.
And so she basically gets smuggled into King's Landing, and smuggles herself into a church, because that's really the only time when the Queen Mother isn't protected and doesn't have so many people around her that Rhaenyra would end up getting captured. This also answers the question, because there was a lot of questions after the episode between the battle with the 2 twin knights.
Oh. How
How did he find out? So it turned out that Damon's ex-lover, which was the woman that was held captive, when she was on her way to the docks, she recognized the brother coming up.
Well, I think it's that I think not necessarily that she recognized, as much as she had just been escorted off by the actual brother, and then she sees the same person walking back from the docks. I think that's when she puts the 2 and 2 together, that it's the other one.
Right. But she, at that point, rather than getting on the boat and sailing away, runs back to the castle and tells them that he's there. So that kind of answered that question for us of like, how did the brother know his brother was there? So they have this talk, this parlay at the church, and you can tell that dumb friend, what's her name?
Allison.
Like, you can tell that Allison has now started to see just how far off the rails this has gone. But she can't swallow her pride to say, you know what, Rhaenyra? You're right. We need to find a way to put this to bed without going to war. Her pride won't let her do that.
Well, I think she's also been manipulated by her father.
That's some of it. That's
some of it. I think because we saw that he was pushing her as a pawn very early on. Yeah, and so pride might be some of it for sure, but I think it might be more that she's blinded by what her father has put into her head, and so she believes, those final messages from her dying husband. I love when he's talking to Rhaenyra about what he said, and they confirm, he was quoting the Song of Ice and Fire, and she didn't know that. So he
never talked about Ice and Fire with her.
Yeah. And so she mistook that. But here's the thing: she went and took that information to her dad, and her dad probably like, oh no, that's about your son. It's about this. So like it's that manipulation, and I think she just didn't. She's always been manipulated, but she just doesn't have any goddamn clue how to think for her own, and so she doesn't know what she's doing. And so I hate her. I don't like her. She's a great actress. Great actress. Nothing bad about the actress. The character just sucks. But again, I think we've already talked about all the characters suck. But I think she's just so manipulated. I think this might be one of the first moments in this episode where she actually tries to like think for herself, and it was, I don't know if I want to say it was nice to see, because I mean, it's too little too late, but cool.
Right, but you kind of saw that happening like in her head, like when Rhaenyra was talking to her. Mm-hmm. You saw where all of a sudden, like, the light bulb came on for her.
The gears started turning.
Yeah.
Someone had to blow on it like a cartridge.
Yeah.
They're like, we're going to get this 64 working. Hold on. Got it.
Well, I, for the record, never had to blow into my 64 cartridges. It was always the NES. The NES was the only one that I ever had that issue with.
Oh, and I'm sure you were blown into all kinds of things.
I mean,
in the Navy, you got to blow to keep things dry, right? Like, you got.
No. I blow to keep things cool, man. Come on, get it right.
Hey, can we just say Diamond's been laughing? I love it. This is great. Diamond, keep laughing.
Yep.
So at this point, Rhaenyra's like, "Hey, my pleas are falling on deaf ears. I gotta go." In the meantime, as she's getting back, they are now sending the two girls from the Sea Snakes family. Those are Damon's girls from his first marriage, right?
Correct.
Yeah. One of them, she's
daughters-in-law.
Stepdaughters.
Yeah, stepdaughters. There you go.
Yeah. One of them gets sent to it's across the sea, the Dorians, House Dorian.
I don't remember where they sent.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about the one who got sent with the two youngest, right?
Right, sent with the youngest children and the dragon eggs and the youngest dragons.
Yep.
The oldest, because she has a dragon and can do some moderate combat. She's a proficient dragon rider.
She's not supposed to be doing combat.
Right. But she's a proficient rider at least. Now that they have word that Sir Creston's on the march, she goes to kind of see if she can locate, like, where are they marching to.
You say Creston?
Sir Creston and his troop.
Is that Creston his name, or was it? So I'm all like, wait, was that his name? How?
Yeah.
Creston,
Manhor, whatever.
Kristen. No, when you said Creston, I was like, who the hell are you talking about? I'm like, oh, Kristen. I'm so used to hearing about Cole.
Oh yeah.
So Kristen Cole.
Yeah. So Sir Creston, also known as the Castle Bicycle.
Such a bitch white boy name too.
It is. But he's like a bicycle. Everyone in the castle gets a turn.
Oh no, that's so bad.
One person's got the turn.
No, because he was hooking up with Rhaenyra when she was still in the castle. When she was married to her first husband.
What?
Yeah.
Wait. What do you? Wait, hold on. What do you? Rhaenyra's only been married.
The same dude is hooking up with both the potential queens.
Was he? What was he having sex with?
How come that can't happen to me?
Yes.
Oh, you're right. Well, you're right. They had a
But
one
you
night
don't want
stand,
that-
didn't they?
you don't
That's
want that
right.
flashback.
Yeah, once or twice. Yeah, and then
Yeah,
she
I
was like,
forgot. That's right. You're right.
Yeah.
Yep, I totally forgot that he hooked
Yeah.
up with her once.
So he's
Oh,
the
yeah.
bicycle of Knights of King's Landing.
Will, I'm going to answer that question for you right now. One, if the sex is too good, they're never going to let you go, and they're always going to blackmail you for it. And then B, if you ain't that good, you ain't ever going to hear the end of it. So you don't want that smoke,
Well,
bro.
he did fuck his way to the
I
top
want
because
that
he's now
smoke.
hand to the king.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
I'm not saying, I'm just saying, well, I would just veto that and don't ask for it.
So Bela is out flying to kind of find out, like, can we track their movements? And she happens to spot them, but they also spot her. Because, I mean, it's a giant dragon.
Come on.
And they run. Now, she didn't engage, but she also didn't want to just, like, I don't know where they're going now. So she kind of
do you think
basically
she would have
buzzed.
had she got him?
She basically uses her dragon to buzz them and the tree line as more of a psychological warfare tactic.
I think she would have, if she had the chance. I think she would have had them do fire. I think.
I think if she would have gotten to them before they got to the tree line,
Yeah.
absolutely. But she didn't want to cause a forest fire.
She was friends with Smokey the Bear.
Well, you know. So she goes back to the castle, tells them what she's seen, and at this point, everyone's like, war's inevitable. So the aunt, who has a very large dragon, is experienced in combat, says, I'm gonna go. In the midst of all this, now mind you, in King's Landing, when Sir Creston went, like, they had to talk Aegon into not going because he's dumb. And he's all about, I must have this glory. So it's like, well, I must ride my dragon next to your troops. And Aemon, being the brother that he is, manages to basically get him to think that it is his own, get Aegon to think that, oh, you know what, you're right. I'm the king. We can't risk me in battle. But then, after seeing, running into Aemon at the local brothel and seeing his brother walk around completely naked, apparently that was intimidating enough for Aegon to be like, I must ride my dragon anyway. So he goes and meets with Sir Creston.
You're leaving out some stuff there.
Let's face it, Aemon is by far the superior brother.
Okay, but the bar's really low, so I don't know how. Like, you could trip over
right.
that bar.
You're right.
Aemon
did model himself after his uncle Daemon. I mean, they are two peas in a pod. So,
except
I don't
Daemon's
think anyone
got to
is
be that doctor. You know what I'm saying?
Well, how do you go from weird to hot? Just go on Game of Thrones and
Hey, Game of Thrones has at least, well, the Game of Thrones story base is what, 3 or 4 ties to Doctor Who?
In a roundabout way, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Aemon basically ends up suiting up and going and meeting Sir Creston in battle, where he is now faced up against his great aunt.
Sure, let's go with that. That makes sense. Well, actually, no, it's not. No, because
she's the aunt to Rhaenyra.
Well, depending how you want to look at it, she's aunt and sister to Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
See this one, this bullshit right here. This bullshit right here.
The branches don't go far out, buddy.
Well, Rhaenyra married Daemon, and Daemon is technically her brother.
Yeah, no, Daemon is her uncle.
No, what I'm talking about is the brother to the queen that didn't have, the almost queen.
No, Daemon is her uncle.
No,
was
I'm
established
not
last
talking
season.
about Rhaenyra. I'm talking about Daemon is the brother of the
sea snake's wife.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's what I'm saying is like since that's happened, she is both Rhaenyra's aunt and sister.
In-law. Yeah.
That
That's
is
some
some
bullshit.
Sweet Home Alabama type stuff going
How the
on.
hell you sleep? It's some bullshit. First, you telling me that it was right back then to sleep with a child, which
Oh, they're making for TV
That's some
purposes. They're
bullshit.
making these characters much older than they actually
Oh,
would
yeah.
have been back in the day.
Yeah.
that's some
Historically, that's how things were.
That's some
I mean,
bullshit. Second,
Historically, things were that way in the U.S. too.
all that's bull. That's some Sweet Home Alabama. Like Diamond
Just
just
go
said,
type
Sweet
in
Home
on
Alabama
TikTok.
shit.
Like, there's a whole trend on TikTok about people talking about their grandmothers, about how like
Yeah.
they're telling the story of like, yeah,
Their
she
grandmother's
was
being
like,
married at 14.
yeah, she was 13, and this guy who was like 37 was like, I love you so much, you should be mine. And my parents were like, go on, little girl, marry the 34-year-old.
Hold
That's
on, I'm gonna go
bullshit.
vomit real quick. Yeah, just ignore me.
Did y'all miss all that in your history
That's some
classes?
bullshit. I saw that in
Yeah.
the first.
No, I
was
didn't miss
like that in
that.
the first season. I was like that in the first season of House of Dragon when I watched the first season, and I was like, "This is some messed up bullshit." You gonna sleep with a 14, 15-year-old girl? Really?
Here's the
No.
thing. Of course, HBO was gonna buy the rights to do House of Dragon and the Game of Thrones because HBO can't get away from loving anything in incest.
Fact.
I'm just gonna say fuck George R. Martin for putting that in. Just fuck you, George.
That's some bullshit, man.
Well, but
Right?
here's the thing.
Will's got my back.
That's worse. That's
But
worse.
here's the thing, guys. You have to remember this. This is not him writing a story just to be like creepy and cringy and pervy.
Yeah, they don't
I don't know,
glamorize it.
dude,
It's
look,
made to be
historically-
bad.
Pervy. I don't know.
Historically,
It's-
this is
it's
how it
frowned
happened. So Ando, you a fan of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, right?
I'm not gonna say that I haven't heard of them, but yes, I know who they are.
Okay. You think they were good guys, right?
They're portrayed to be.
Okay.
Then again,
And-
Robin Hood was portrayed to be a good guy, and he killed people so
Yeah.
that the poor people could get
And
money.
King Arthur eventually in lore married Guinevere, right?
Yep.
She was 14.
That's
Don't
some
agree with
bullshit. That's some
agree with that.
bullshit.
No, but historically, that's what it was.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's not
Yeah.
historically correct. I'm not saying
Do we-
that.
I'm
Do
just
you wanna
saying,
talk about
historically, I would go
Pocahontas?
back to that
Bullshit.
time.
Period.
Well,
Do we
right,
want-
and that's why we have evolved as a society to where we are today.
Yes.
I'm like, do we
You
want to talk about Pocahontas and Sacagawea and all of them being
Yeah.
Hell no. Hell
Being
no.
like
Give it up.
14?
Hell no. It's
Yeah.
bad enough we
Nope.
talk about the boys. We don't need to talk about them. Just incest.
Yeah.
Hell no.
yeah. The
Will's
boys.
like, we're getting too real here. Stay
It's
with the
too
fake
real.
stuff. Stay with the
Hell
fake
no.
stuff.
So
We need no, man. I got a 15-year-old daughter. Nah, man.
like I said,
It's
that's
bad.
why we've evolved as civilizations.
That's some
Hopefully.
We
bullshit.
realize that's not right anymore.
Except
But
for
we also
Alabama.
have life expectancy past 35.
Hold up, man.
So
Oh, sorry. Did I forget another state like Louisiana or Tennessee? Maybe.
yeah.
I'm trying.
Am I
As long
forgetting
as you don't
Southern
say
down there,
Georgia.
Florida? Maybe. Sorry, I don't want to leave any of you southern backwoods countries or states out. Sorry, I apologize. Let me make sure I include y'all.
Oh no, yeah,
Y'all. I got to talk in their
It's on
native
Rock
tongue.
Homie.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Oh my God.
But you know, like I say, I just find that, and I get it. I get it. It's historically correct. I understand it. I ain't gonna sit here
Well-
and down it because it was the
Mhm.
the time frame or the period
Well, and I don't
for that
think
to happen, and I get it. But
in-
to me, as being a father, it's some bullshit.
Well, and I don't necessarily like in Game of Thrones and House of Dragons when it comes up. I mean, sure, maybe there's some reasoning behind it because they're trying to be kind of like historically accurate, but obviously this is a fictional thing that has nothing to do with actual history. The thing is when they do have these incest relationships, the show and the books for the most part does a good job at basically reminding you that this is not a good thing. This is bad.
Right.
Right.
Like
right.
they very much don't like. That's why they're doing it in secret, or that's why they're doing things like in weird ways because it's not a good thing.
Yeah, and the Targaryens did it for a bloodline. Just like English did, and the French did, and the Spanish did, was to keep bloodlines. Because there was something to the effect with Targaryens, like you had to be able to keep the dragon blood.
Yep.
In order to be able to have dragons hatch, keep dragons in the world, ride dragons.
Right.
Well, and to be fair, how they do it in House of Dragon, I don't think Game of Thrones talked about it as much, but House of Dragons has. To keep that bloodline, because even the situation with Rhaenyra marrying Daemon is still in a gray area of them not really accepting it.
Yeah.
Because that's like one step too close. Right. They would try in that scenario to have Rhaenyra marry like her third cousin. Like they would have her, because then like, oh, we're keeping the family bloodline, but she's not a direct.
Which was why the first husband was the son of the sea snake.
Yeah, because that was the child of the aunt.
Yeah, he was a cousin, but there was still a mixed bloodline between. Yep. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna switch gears here from House of Dragon. Ando's with us now, and it's after.
It's Geek After Dark, baby.
And it's 11:01. So damn it, I'm gonna get an intro. It's Geek Gauntlet After Dark, baby. Everything.
The worst part is.
We throw
this week's
everything
episode
away now.
Wasn't that after darky?
Yes,
it wasn't that pervy.
It was not that pervy.
No.
But
right.
So go for it, Ando. Since we've talked about all of our shows, go ahead. We'll go ahead and get started with the book.
I'm gonna full disclosure right now. I didn't actually go back and watch any of the episodes previous. I watched obviously last week's episode.
You watched this week's?
Tuesday, and then I watched this week's episode on Thursday.
Yep.
Because I watched it right before I went to bed. First things first.
R.I.P. Web Weaver.
Yeah, R.I.P. I'll get to Web Weaver in a minute because that scene made me laugh before it went. Oh shit! But no.
Don't worry, PETA's also on speed dial because of some things this episode.
Homelander. He's a good character to love to hate. Like, some of the shit that he says, it's like, I get where you're coming from, but you're a total dick, dude. Like,
yeah.
I like that he fired Sage in the way that he fired her. The black guy that leads the boys, that's Mother Milk, correct?
MM, yep.
Yes.
What is his superpower? Does he have a superpower?
No.
Yeah, so I did look into it. He doesn't. The show has.
In the show, he doesn't, but in the comics, he did.
Yeah, I went and researched how he does not. In the show, he doesn't, but yes, in the comics, he did. Yep.
Because he kind of seems more of that leader from behind to let the people get their hands dirty, and he kind of plays like Amanda Waller in the Suicide Squad. Essentially, is how I look at him.
No.
You need to go back and watch the early stuff of him because he's actually he's very much a character that believes he won't ask someone to do something he wouldn't do. He's very much, he cares about his people. When you first meet him in The Boys, he is working at a youth detention center, and he's trying to help youth rehabilitate and helping them learn to be civil people, not be shitty. He's supposed to be a good guy, and he's one of those people who's a good guy who knows that he has past trauma, that he the past trauma of growing up with hating soups. There's things there, and so he's trying to battle that.
I really need to get into the lore with Butcher and what's Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character's name? Kessler?
You don't have to get into the lore of him.
Yeah.
No, because he's just in his head, right? He's the only one that can see him.
He was introduced he was introduced this season.
He just was introduced this season. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not really any lore for him.
I gotta say, the way Carl Urban hits that accent perfectly well, that's a plus in the show. I really enjoy his accent to it. But no, meat and potatoes of the episode. I feel bad for the octopus who died because
that is Carl Urban's accent for the most part.
Yeah, that is his actual speaking voice. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. No, but apparently I didn't know. I saw him in Doom and thought he spoke like a normal white guy. My bad, dude. Carl Urban, if you watch this, my fault, sir.
Yeah, no. When he does an American
don't forget to join us on Geek After Dark, Mr. Urban, if you're ever here. we'll let you know. You can sit between me and Diamond. We'll let you take the floor and talk about the boys. So
Carl Urban
Good
should come
stuff,
on
sir.
here, and he should bring his 2 favorite weapons, the ones that he calls Des and Troy. And when you put them
Yeah.
together, they destroy.
So, I do like how it was fairly combat eccentric, especially that fight scene between Butcher, Starlight, and then Black Noir and the Deep, and then A-Train gets involved, and then Mother Milk comes back in. I really do enjoy that. I gotta say, is that the first time that we've ever seen a shape-shifting evil person on the show?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, we just.
I will say,
Feeling off-
I the second that person that came get a selfie with Starlight, I was like, that's the shapeshifter.
Did not.
And then-
I did not expect it. And then
I-
as soon as like you see Starlight, or you see Starlight grab the stuff. Well, sorry, spoiler alert.
You're right.
Yeah,
they should know
I just
by
wanna
now.
Make sure. Yeah. And then when Starlight goes into the safe and grabs the stuff, and you see her eyes shift, it's like,
Oh,
Where-
that's
and then
that's
Starlight-
what took you.
yeah, I mean, so kind of thrown off when Starlight shows up in her outfit, and it's kind of like,
I immediately
Okay.
was like, that's
Okay.
the fucking, that's it, that's the shapeshifter.
it's well, okay, again, because I hadn't seen the other previous
Yeah.
episodes, I don't know if it's a serious kind of
I get-
mindset that she had, but it could have been one of those things where, hey, we had a near-death experience, maybe let me reevaluate this, maybe being Starlight isn't so bad. And then, of course, she drops the panties, and it's like, oh, this is a real makeout. And then, of course, you see the stuff pulling out of the safe, the eyes shift, it's like, oh, no, the one with Starlight.
Then you see
Oh, my
Starlight,
God.
and then the next thing you know, you see Starlight
And then-
tied and chained.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you hear the creepy stuff in the. It's like shit.
I
but
do
no,
like that they
absolutely.
show how she got there, like showing the quick like scenes of her
Yeah.
getting down. Like, I'm like, that's cool. They show that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I will go into details. Rest in peace, Web Weaver. But you can't deny that scene was not funny as hell, where he cannot control his web shitting from his and just fire.
What happens when I'm nervous? Oh!
My question is this.
Yes.
My question is this. And I mean to cut you off, Ando, but my question
No,
is
you're
this.
good. You're good.
My question is this. How the hell every time, and maybe it's just me,
Mhm.
he's been looking for this leak. He thought old boy was the leak, killed him. He thought the lady a couple episodes before killed her, killed Web Weaver. Dude, can you get a definite answer before you start killing people?
Well,
That's
that's
the-
part of
That's
No
Homelander.
that's
impulse
part of-
control.
Yeah.
No impulse control.
Yeah.
That's his whole
Yeah.
ordeal.
He just kill him. He ripped Web. He
Yeah,
ripped him
just-
apart.
Right,
Yeah.
but some of that also goes to like the fact that he and they've hinted at this through both the scenes, is that really Homelander doesn't know how to make decisions. So he's like an Alicent.
That's why you need
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Sage in there. But now that he fired Sage and has Firecracker, that's like it's totally there's nothing going on.
Firecracker is whispering in his ear, so I think Firecracker is kind
He
of
kept his Marjorie Taylor Greene. I mean, Firecracker. Sorry.
But you saw though when he killed Web Weaver,
Marjorie Taylor
you
Greene.
saw Firecracker, you saw her have that moment of, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into?
Yeah,
Yeah, you
absolutely.
I think for a second.
No, it's still there.
I think she's. I don't think she enjoys murder the way he does,
Mhm.
but I think she like it's one of those things where she's gonna go all the way. She's like, I don't think she wants to do it this way, and she's definitely aware that like, oh, if I fuck up, he's gonna kill me. But she's also like not gonna betray him. Like she has no like. There's not gonna be anything like, oh man, I'm worried for my life. I'm gonna go tell on. No, she's in it for the long haul. She's there for
Well,
the crazy.
But she's doing okay, so she's doing the typical trailer park thing.
Yes, she
You know,
Thing.
like that's the best way to
Thing.
describe it.
The thing
is.
Is
for our Alabama people. The
Thing.
thing.
yeah, she's doing the typical trailer park girl thing. Look at this person. They can give me what I want. They have a nice truck and, you know, this, that, the other. And then all of a sudden he gets too drunk that one time. And like, you know, all of a sudden you see that dark side. And all of a sudden she's like, oh shit, I don't know how to get out of this. Like she's in it to a point where she knows. And she realizes that this
I don't
is-
think she wants out yet.
Yeah, no, I think, dude, she's gonna be in it for the long haul, dude. I
right,
think those are the two that
but
are
she's
paired up
also now
for a while.
realized what she's done. So
Sure.
she doesn't want out,
No.
But she realizes now just how much danger she is in.
How deep does that rabbit hole go at this point?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because I mean, the look on her face when Web Weaver was torn apart. I mean, and the blood on her face, she just.
Well, yeah, she got blood on her face and on her boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was also in the scene when she came after he found out about A-Train
Yeah.
and all of this, and she went to him.
Yeah.
And he pushed her away.
I got this movie for you.
You saw it there too, where she realized, I've helped create this monster.
Yeah.
Like, this is all your fault now. You gotta live.
I think you're giving her too much credit to think that she thought that.
No, she's not smart enough to think that she didn't create it.
I think you're giving her too much credit to even think that hard.
I agree with
she's
Kat.
in trouble.
I agree with Kat. I think she knows the predicament that she's in now.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think she realizes how deep down the rabbit hole she is.
Yeah.
I really think she doesn't realize how deep down the rabbit hole she is. Because now with old girl gone, you're gonna, if anything else goes wrong, you're the next one on the list.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Sister Sage knew what was going to happen, so she's just like,
oh, she knew, yeah.
Like,
so can we talk about that about Sage? Because
about her?
There's, honestly, since the first moment they introduced her at the beginning of this season, I have not. She's been keeping me on my toes because how they described her as clearly the smartest person, that's her power, smartest person alive, and for the most part the show keeps with that. But every so often there's a little, like, I don't want to say a hiccup, but there's things that happen that I feel like if she's supposed to be the smartest person, she would have predicted that. So I'm just wondering, whose side has she really been on Homelander's side the whole time? Or was she on her own side?
She's on her own side.
I think she goes to the other now, though.
But what I'm wondering, was this set up for her to get fired by him?
Yes.
And I think she goes. And I think she goes over to Billy. She goes over to Billy and Butcher's side now.
Well, I don't know if she's going to go that far because I don't know if she wants to be involved with them.
But she also knows that they're her best chance.
Yep.
At ending Homelander.
Right.
So
if that's going to be the case to where she harbors resentment for being fired and she wants Homelander gone, that's her best means.
The other side of it too is she never, like, she mentioned them. She never wanted to be part of the Seven.
Nope.
No, yeah, she wanted to be behind the scenes.
So I think for her, while she was doing everything Homelander was asking, kind of orchestrating these things and creating these plans, her ultimate plan was to get fired.
Mm-hmm.
So that then it was her way of not being out in front of everything and everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was just too exhausting for her. Because you could, like, when he was like, "You're done, you're fired," she's like, and just walked out. Like, even.
She did make a remark because remember he had to threaten her and be like, "You'll be lucky you're leaving alive and not in a bucket."
Yeah, but for her, even though it was a comment, it was more. I think that was more for Homelander's benefit.
I'm just very interested to see how this plays out with Sage because I think they're keeping the cards really close, which is good. I like that they're doing that. I just am curious if the show is going to see it that there is a grand plan, or was there a plan and then it got fouled up? Because the show presents it as a way that a plan was made and it got fouled up and she got fired. That's what the show's presented to us. But
don't forget, we are also forgetting about the super. What is it? The soup.
The vice president?
No, the chemical that Kamiko got shot with.
Yeah.
Oh,
because
the
antivirus. Yeah. First off, what is Kamiko's superpowers? Because it definitely is being a badass to have your leg chopped off like that and not make a fucking sound.
She actually regenerates. If you look really closely in the scene where they're talking about it, you see her little nub foot.
Okay.
Kind of like when Deadpool lost his hand.
Yeah.
She regenerates as well as she's super strong as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I know that they went into the backstory of why she doesn't talk, and I was really hoping that she would break that at some point because I like when characters can talk, but it kind of gives that mysteriousness about her, which I really enjoy.
Well, they've adjusted why she can't talk too because
if you watch the episode,
Well, before you watch it, they gave some info why she didn't talk, and then in this most recent episode, they slightly added more to it, like there's things you didn't know. I was like, oh wow, they even dove deeper into it.
But no, I am intrigued at the very least to see how this season ends, because obviously the next episode is the season finale. They've already announced they are filming season 5, episode 1. So yeah, let's see what happens next week and get hyped and get excited.
I know we're talking about the boys. Sorry, I just popped in my head. There's one last thing I actually wanted to add to House of Dragon before we fully move on from those shows, if that's okay. The one last thing I want to say is this show, the only real argument I'm going to bring up at that ending of House of Dragons is you're telling me a bunch of motherfucking dragon riders don't know how parachutes work?
Parachutes hadn't been invented yet.
No. These motherfuckers are dragon riders. You're telling me they didn't come up with a parachute idea or a backup plan?
No.
I'm sorry, if I have a dragon, I don't think I'll need to abort my dragon, dude.
No, I'm telling you, these people have been. This isn't like, oh, I just found a dragon, I don't know what to do with it. This is a legacy of dragon riders for the last several thousand years,
right?
And you're telling me no one at any point in time was like, what if you fell off?
Yes, because
what if your dragon dies? Should we have something?
It was actually explained in Game of Thrones.
What they say?
And a little bit in the beginning of House of the Dragon.
What they say?
A dragon rider can find a new dragon, but if the rider dies, the dragon may never fly again.
But it doesn't explain though if the dragon dies and the person they could have a parachute.
Parachutes had not been invented, sir.
I know, but they could make one.
Well, they didn't.
This is a fantasy world. Dragons exist and magic shit happens. They can have a parachute.
Well, they didn't.
Oh, I didn't know we were talking about Harry Potter House of Dragons. Expelliarmus.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Or at least a harness or at least a harness or something to hold on to.
Well, they do have a harness.
They have a saddle.
Oh, they have that saddle now.
Yeah,
okay.
But I feel like if in Game of Thrones, I buy it in Game of Thrones because no one's been riding dragons for 200 years or something like that. So that would be fine because they don't know what they're doing. I buy that. But this is a family who've been riding dragons for thousands of years, and you're telling me no one came up with the idea of I don't know, a wingsuit, a parachute, something. So if your dragon goes, because this cannot be the first time a dragon's ever gone down.
No, but it's because humans aren't supposed to go that high, so no one has invented it.
They could make a suit or something.
Accept it.
Hey, they made an abortion drink in this goddamn show. They can make a goddamn parachute, okay?
No, that actually was originally from China, and it's actually been around for centuries.
Well, is this an abortion drink?
There is no China in this show. This is Westeros.
There's no China.
Maybe Westeros is that magical platforms 9 3/4 port of China.
No, there was no China, no black China, no China. What?
Will would be devastated if that's the case. Just kill Will now.
No, black China.
I'm sorry. Where's the Asian democracy of China?
Yeah.
There's no China. Oh,
he's like,
cool.
You're telling me there's no anime girls, no waifus?
What?
I'm gonna go kill myself now. Where's the?
You're telling me there's no China? What? No Japan?
That would be the land of Dorne. Actually, if you really think about it geographically, Dorne would essentially have been their China.
I want to say geographically, but not culturally.
I mean, look. Like I put on my Facebook page the other day, to combat declining birth rates, Japan is beginning to offer breeding visas to foreigners, and I need to go and do my.
Okay, I'll be back, guys. Hold on. I've been looking to move to Japan anyway, so gotta go, guys. I'm moving over.
I'm moving to Japan. I'm hollering at y'all. All right, now, y'all. All right, Geek Gauntlet from Japan, but
Hey, then it's real Geek After Dark. Sun's up and everything. Well,
it's the House of the Rising Sun, baby. You know what I'm saying? No.
Yep.
Hold on, land of the rising sun. There we go. All right.
I think Will is more like it.
I'll be right over there, man. Look, I'm gonna go. I don't know how. I don't know how I'm gonna go find my little Asian harem. Hold on. There you go. I don't know how I'm gonna get over there. I'm gonna have to talk to Dave and use the Geek News Now travel fund to get over there. But,
hey, I watched Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. They like white people over there, apparently. So we gotta go.
Oh my god.
They like 27-year-olds that look like they're supposed to be 17. Okay, they like it over there.
Yo, and if your name's
Hey,
Lil
Dave,
Bow
man,
Wow
look
and you
at
can
me.
put out a hit or two, you get iPods for days, man.
And
Yeah.
you can drive around in an ugly ass Hulk truck. I mean,
Hey, real quick, man, hook me up with that Geek Gauntlet P card real quick. Hook me up. Let your boy get over to Japan real quick. Or we can start a GoFundMe. Whatever y'all want to do, we can do. Let's go.
Or if Kat and Janae would finally put their feet pic online, we wouldn't need a GoFundMe. Just
man,
saying.
I just needed to find me a Sugar Hans over there, and Hans can just take over and let me live my life over there.
Live your life a quarter mile at a time.
There you
Exactly.
go.
Oh, actually,
There
it's
you go.
probably a kilometer at a time over there, but that's okay. That's
All right. In the interest of time, basically, because your boy got to go work tomorrow. Has anyone seen that Captain America New World trailer?
Holy
I did.
shit, yes.
all I'll
we
say
gotta
right
pick
now
for
is
it.
if you guys are holding on to Red Hulk comics, those are shot up a lot in the last 24 hours. I have issue 1 through 3 of Red Hulk introduction, and I think my copy has tripled in price in the last 24 hours.
There we go.
All I will say is there's a meme going around of Harrison Ford. Yes, you may be Captain America and the Falcon. And then it's a picture of him and his Han Solo crew, but you're not the captain of the Millennium Falcon. I thought that was funny, man.
I will say, I really didn't think we were going to see Harrison Ford. So the fact that we're seeing him in this is interesting. I do like that they make a joke of why he looks different, and it's about the beard.
Yep.
Because he's like, oh, I almost didn't recognize you. And he's like, well, I had to get rid of the beard, Fair enough. I'll roll with it. But
All right, we got a couple of movies announced: Shrek 5 and Toy Story 5 and other upcoming movies. We got a pick on that.
Why are they making Toy Story 5? They just
Because
leave it
they
alone.
don't have any new ideas.
because they like money.
I mean, I get why, but still, it's like just leave it
Wait,
alone
is,
after 3.
is,
Yeah.
is Messiah? Hold on, is Messiah a movie or is that the new show that's coming out?
I think that's the
That's
show.
a movie.
Yeah, because I think that's the show, isn't it? That's coming out on Max.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're supposed to get coming up here in the fall. We're gonna get Dune Messiah and we're gonna get the Penguin. Those are the 2 biggest ones they're pushing right now.
Okay.
Batman, Batman Part 2 says it's not coming out till isn't it the end of 2026?
I heard they scrapped it.
No.
Damn.
Last I hear, it's coming out 2026. I'm like, cool, a movie that only half the people want, and it'll come out 2.5 years from now.
They better not ruin Supergirl.
They're gonna ruin it.
They better not ruin that.
They're gonna
What?
ruin
I
it.
don't know. I read the story. there is potential for that to be cool, especially since depends on what James Gunn wants to do with it. But I mean, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow doesn't take place on Earth at all.
No. But I've heard some things that I'm not really too keen on.
What have you heard?
I mean, I heard Lobo's supposed to be a part of this, and Lobo's not really part of the
You know what though?
Supergirl.
The Lobos fanboys are saying Lobos so much that every project that DC's even announced, they've said Lobos is a part of.
Man, he don't need to be in this.
Yeah. Well,
He don't need to be in
if
this.
they
Go
want to
do the
hide him
Superman
in there,
stuff.
they could
Well-
they could hide him in there as a cameo
The
because
reason they want him in there is because Jason Momoa's abs.
That's the only reason. I was about to say that. That's the only reason. They want
well,
Cat
even
to see
then,
the-
that's
they
not
want
even
Cat to
still
see Jason
confirmed
Momoa's
that it's
abs
going to
one
be
more time.
Momoa
That's
now
what it is.
because they keep being wish-washy about that.
They want Cat to see Jason Momoa's abs one more time. That's all it is.
According to IMDb, the media is showing that only one cast has been set in stone, and that's Millie Alcock playing as Supergirl / Kara Zor-El.
Such a bad
Kara.
thing.
Kara. See,
Zor-El.
whatever. Who's Cat Grant? Call me Cat Grant. I don't care.
Such a
but I
bad
mean-
pig. Nothing against her as an actress. I just think
Yeah, but I mean,
aesthetic-wise, she don't do it.
I don't know enough about the Supergirl lore to know if there are enough enemies to make a solid film.
And so the story of Women of Tomorrow, just to give you a quick overcap, is what's funny about that. It's an interesting story because technically, Supergirl is not the main character.
Yes.
In that storyline, the main character is an alien, like, let's say 13-year-old girl. And basically this 13-year-old girl goes out, seeks vengeance on this guy who killed her dad on an alien world somewhere way out there, nowhere near Earth, anything. In that process, she tries to hire Supergirl because she finds her at a bar because Supergirl's getting like shit-faced at a bar somewhere out in space. And long story short, Supergirl kind of tags along with her because he kills, well, he doesn't end up not killing, but he attacked Crypto, her dog, put him in like a coma for a minute, and ran away with Supergirl's ship. And so Supergirl allegedly says like, oh, I need to track him down, but I don't know much about him. And this girl's like, well, I know everything about him because I want to kill him. And so Supergirl's like, I guess you can tag along. And so the story is about them like traveling the fucking cosmos trying to find this guy. And everywhere they go, they always just miss him.
So it's the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Well, it's
except
told,
I'm not going to watch it.
well, it's
If
told
that's the case, I ain't watching it neither. And I love Supergirl.
Yeah,
It's,
no, I
it's
mean,
told
no, dude.
in an
That
interesting
would be
way.
like- that would be like a Fast and the Furious movie. Let's make Fast and the Furious 17. And then we're not going to show the character everybody's expecting to see until the final 5 minutes because he has to say the one word that everybody expects him to say. Family.
So what you
Yeah.
said, you just described Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just
God
described
damn it.
yeah,
God damn it.
which was,
Yeah, but no,
in my opinion,
hold
one of my
At that
favorite
time-
ones.
At the
One of my
time
favorite
that
things,
movie was
obviously.
made, at the time that movie was made, nobody really was expecting that movie to piece into the lore of Fast and Furious in the way that it was going to go.
But it did.
The first time that I saw it, I was like, okay, that's cool. The stories don't really connect. That's fine. And then as the Fast and the Furious saga goes, it's like, oh, there's more to it. So,
Well, it was. I don't remember if it was the third one or the fourth one, but it was back around that time frame was when they got the rights to it. Because before it was like the studio's just doing it, but Vin Diesel and them got the rights to it, and so then they were able to like start making it the way they want to by connecting everything. But going back to Supergirl, there's some good stuff. It is. I believe it's written by Tom King. I believe the comic.
what, Supergirl?
The comic. I believe. I believe is written. Now, I'm not a huge Tom King fan, but I will give credit where credit is due. He is very big in the writer community. I just tend to think he draws out things because he writes a lot of thought and talking scenes. So I tend to I read the whole thing and I felt like in the middle they could have cut out like 2 or 3 chapters because I felt like it was reading a Game of Thrones novel where you have too long of chapters where you're like, I don't give a shit. So there's potential for some good stuff. We'll see. I think the storyline is an interesting concept because again, if he's gonna keep doing this world building and expanding the universe, showing a Supergirl movie that doesn't take place on Earth for the entire movie could be kind of cool.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
All right, and last one I want to show for tonight. We actually have a pick of Crow. I think it's Crow 3. Crow 3 promo pick. Yep.
See, I want to give it a chance because Bill Skarsgård has done some amazing work.
Yeah.
But my Gen X 90s kid has reservations.
Yeah. As you do with any remake.
True.
Yeah. One, I think it's actually I think it would be the 4th one, isn't it? Because I think there's been 3 Crow movies previously.
But this is actually going back to the original.
Yeah, no, I know. He said Crow 3, so I was like, I think this is actually the 4th one technically. I think.
No, this is just the Crow.
When I know, but I mean, I just mean out of the movies that have been made.
Yeah, Crow promo. I just said Crow promo pick 3. It's pick 3.
I see. I mean, I just heard 3, so my bad.
Right.
Yeah, by definition, there's been 4 based off of the storyline for Crow. The Crow 1994 obviously starring Brandon Lee.
The Yellow Ranger was in the second Crow movie.
Yes. The Crow City of Angels came out in 96. Then it was The Crow Salvation in 2000 with Kirsten Dunst and William Atherton. And then, the new Crow movie coming out this year.
I'll say also before we go real quick, did anyone else see the trailer for the actual trailer for Agatha All Along?
Yes,
I actually, MCU Monday covered it before I jumped on the podcast with them.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Intriguing. Me not knowing the mystical side except for Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch, and not watching
WandaVision.
Scarlet Witch. WandaVision.
WandaVision's good.
It could be one that I get into. So
I like her. That actress is great. I think there's some good potential. I actually, though, only argument I'm going to make is I really think, unless there's something cool in the plot that comes up, I think they should have kept it as Agatha Coven of Chaos as its name, because it had like 3 or 4 different names until they now apparently are going to be Agatha all along. But the previous one was Agatha Coven of Chaos, and I was like, you know what? After watching the trailer, Coven of Chaos would be dope.
Yeah. No, I'm intrigued, man. I think they got some really good actresses in there. Catherine Hahn,
Aubrey Plaza, my girl, she's
Aubrey
in.
Plaza. Yep, definitely.
All right, you guys. Let's go ahead
get
and
the whole
wrap
Parks
this
and Rec
up.
crew in there. We'll get them in.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Let's go ahead
Wait,
and wrap
what's
this.
Star-Lord doing in the show? I'm not. Who the fuck is Star-Lord? I'm not Star-Lord. I'm an extra.
All
It
right.
was like,
let's go
Ando,
ahead-
shut the hell up. I'm trying to get out. I need to go to bed.
Let's go ahead and wrap this puppy up real quick. Kat, what you got coming up this week?
Well, over at Geek News Now, of course, we have on Mondays, we're going to have MCU Monday back here on our YouTube channel at Geek News Now Official. We are going to have Tuesday, we should have a new episode of The Sith Dominion. If you haven't already, go ahead and make sure you're checking out War of the Stars. Their show is not live, but it does get uploaded on Wednesdays, both to YouTube as well as over to Podbean, so you can catch that wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Thursday night, we're going to have Cantina Happy Hour. And then, of course, we'll be right back here next Saturday with the Geek Gauntlet. And as always, if you had fun here hanging out with us, the chat was great tonight. If you love talking about shows, you love talking about geekdoms, your fandoms, whatever it may be, make sure that you don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way, every time that we have new content going live at Geek News Now Official.
All right.
I'll say, Kat, if you're going to be our TikTok queen, I think you need to do one of those TikToks where it's like the dance where you don't say anything, but you're pointing to like, you have all the stuff you're saying.
I've done those before, actually. Yeah.
We'll just create that for the ending here. We'll just.
Yeah. All right, Diamond, what you got going on this week?
So this week I'm gonna start streaming Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order again, along with Dragon Ball Kakarot.
You just keep looking for them Dragon Balls.
Yeah. I need money.
She got to have them. She got to make that wish.
It's like, I need them all. I need all of them Dragon Balls.
She need
If you went to Westeros during the House of the Dragon show, I'm sure you'd find a lot of Dragon Balls there.
Oh my god.
Wrong kind of Dragon Balls.
No. We don't know.
Or are they the right kind of Dragon Balls?
We don't know.
We're not judging here. It's after dark or whatever she wants, right? I mean,
I'm just saying.
We'll
We've
start
never
Dragon
seen
Balls.
the Dragon Balls on the Westeros Craigslist page.
See, I'm just kind of feeling like if you ordered Dragon Balls in Westeros, that would be like ordering Rocky Mountain oysters.
Yeah.
Diamond's
Dragon
like,
Balls are Dragon Balls.
there's bad dragon, but I don't have the Dragon Balls. I need them both,
There you go.
Need the best of both worlds.
Exactly.
There you go.
All right. Ando, what you got going on this week, my friend?
Work, and more work. And
I
then
feel you.
obviously I will be with you Monday night for the Sports Reports podcast here on YouTube and on Twitch. I will do a plug, shamelessly, of course. If you guys aren't following the Sports Reports podcast, get your sports news. Follow Mr. Will Morgan up there at the Geek Gauntlet 1. You can also follow me, Ando3818. I don't do much. I do try to stream, but I haven't been streaming in so long, I think I forgot how to do it. But yeah, I mean, that's what I got going on. Work, and then, work, sleep, and then do some more work.
There we go.
Maybe squeeze in an episode of The Boys.
I do have to say an apology to Kat tonight, because Kat did the homework and I failed because I forgot to have my name be something kinky as well, because I was going to have all of us have kinky names, especially for Ando, since after last week's The Boys we're going to have all these like lovely BDSM names, but I failed. But I have to, Dami Mommy Cat, she did it.
Or is Evil Green Ranger just the outfit that you wear before you go to your BDSM meeting?
Well, I mean, maybe I can, do my power ups. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You play that dragon whistle, everybody gets hard, man. That's how it happens.
I mean, I know I do. I mean,
Oh my God.
Instead of getting those dragons to come out of the water, hey, look at us.
I am trying to catch up on some comics. I'm also trying to survive the heat wave. I'm actually right now, my apartment gets such shitty AC, and the whole apartment, the AC only works in the living room. I'm sleeping in the living room this week because we've had like 110 degree weather this week. So it's been death. Yeah, I'm just sleeping out here trying to survive that, and then stay inside AC and read some comic books, play some video games. I've been doing Overwatch. I did just download a video game that I've heard everyone say is bad, but I don't know. What is it? Is it the First Descendant?
First Descendant, yeah. I've gotten through the tutorial mission. I enjoy it. I want a group of people to play it with.
I saw the trailer. It looked interesting, and the cool thing about Game Pass, it's free, so I downloaded it. I'll give it a try. I don't know. I don't know if it's bad or not.
The other one I'd recommend if you're a Batman fan, Gotham Knights is free on Game Pass as well.
Well, I own Gotham Knights. I just haven't played it very much.
Yeah. Nope. I will say I just got done playing a level with my brother where the League of Shadows gas your character, and there's a level where normally you two play side by side, but you're on different sides of the map, and you guys kind of have to meet together. I will shit you not. I screamed out loud after my Batgirl character got decapitated.
Well, I just hated how they made Red Hood a himbo in that game because he's not a himbo. Not really. I mean, I feel like the comics are trying to make him that now, but I was like, this is the guy that, like, one of the few people that actually can hold his own against Batman. So making him like the dumb jock is kind of like an insult to Batman.
I don't see him as the dumb jock. I see him as the guy he doesn't necessarily put thought into the procedures and what he's doing, but he is the muscle behind the team. Yeah. Where Dick Grayson is the brains, Barbara is the tech, and Robin is more of kind of that support character. Jason is the guy that will go out and okay, cool, he's the Raphael of your group.
But Jason is also like incredibly smart. Like, again, he is in almost every storyline where they've had Red Hood. He's
the strategist.
He knows how to do that. He knows how to combat Batman. He also knows how to go. Like, I'm sure in the comics people come at me. I'm sure there's a storyline where Dick Grayson actually gets one up on Batman. I'm sure there is. But more often than not, Jason does, because Jason knows exactly the training he gets, so he knows how to counter it. And so Jason will do it, as well as he knows how to play the card. Yes, he does let his emotions fuel him, and he becomes
absolutely.
But he's a strategist. So like the idea of making him like, I'm just dumb jock, want to punch heads. I'm like, okay, that's not Jason. So I will say that for another time. We'll let your boy get some sleep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if there is nothing else, myself, I'm just working, Pokemon VGC, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. That's about it for me.
I'll have to watch you
stream. You move on Princess Diana yet?
Huh?
You made your move on Princess Diana yet?
Not yet, but we've battled twice.
The world's waiting, man. The world's waiting, man.
You gotta let her know that you might be marrying someone in Japan and moving, so she better make her move soon.
Yep.
She better play her pot of greed so she can capture. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna catch him in a Pokeball.
Some of them Egyptian gods. You need to get real men.
She's streaming right now. So, but
you gotta go to bed. Well, go to bed.
But no. The thing that's gonna make me go to bed is really this. That particular is on her Discord, and it's called her Eevee tier, and it's like $6.50 a month to join that. That's how I do.
Good night.
$6.50 or $650? What are you saying?
$6.50.
Okay, I was like, who the hell are you stream? What is? Are you streaming a Playboy bunny or something? What the hell is going on?
No,
she could dress up like Eevee. Every year she takes off.
Did you call Olivia Munn and ask to do a duel? I mean,
I like the girl, but not $6.50 a month. No.
$6.50, Jesus.
Yeah, $6.50 a month for Eevee tier. That's on her Discord. You can do that on Discord.
Diamond's like, man, I'm not charging enough. Shit, I need to jack up my rate.
It's like, let me just start making people pay for stuff.
I'm
Just-
gonna say the
all you
word
gotta do
Dragon
is-
Balls. I'm gonna say the word Dragon Balls on stream, and Diamond's gonna get 650 every time. That's what happens.
Well,
Somebody's gonna stop.
Diamond just need to say, "Hey, boys, come with me to find them Dragon Balls."
Simp, simp, simp.
Yeah,
Subscribe to my Twitch, please.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
All
my
right,
God! Say it,
everybody.
Diamond. Say it, Diamond. Say it, Diamond.
What large Dragon Balls you have?
Oh yeah, there it is. Oh.
All right, you guys. I want to say thank you for everybody being in the chat. Thank you for coming out. We do appreciate you guys. We'll be back here again next week. Same bad time, same bad channel for another episode of the Geek Gauntlet Podcast. Everyone have a good night. Have a good week. Stay cool out there and take care.
Peace.